Watch this.
It's Friday on the 208. Ahead for you. What a week. Wrapping up election 2023 with 3 runoff elections in our area. In Jerome County, we are checking back in on the results of a very local election that prompted the use of a new Idaho law. Jewish communities around the world are celebrating Hanukkah this evening. It comes at a time of increased anti-Semitism across America. In Boise, though, they're not shying away from celebrating the center of the holiday, light in darkness. And yes, it's Friday, so we're going to launch into the viewer questions from the week. And we will break the fourth wall to address a piece of footage from a story this week that you had a lot to say about. The 208 starts right now.
I think being able to show some light on it, one of the greatest things of this review is we get to just let everybody see what's happening on the inside. And I think that's really important in terms of building trust in our elections. They are scrutinizing to such a level that they can make determinations like this. Like, of course, and I can assure you, the county wishes they'd just gotten it right the first time. I'm sure the candidates do as well. But we want to make sure that we do get it right. And so this gives a chance for them to try and make sure the record's corrected.
That's Secretary of State Phil McGrain talking about fixing an election error using a brand new Idaho law. After the November 7th election, while examining the election results, the Jerome County clerk found that 2 voters, a couple that lived in the same house, they were incorrectly given an absentee ballot for Jerome County, the Valley School District trustee in Zone 5 election. But even though they lived in Zone 5, the voters, well, they got the wrong ballots. And that's a problem because 2 votes could totally change the election, an election that came down to just 1 vote. So what do you do? Well, in this case, Idaho got to use a brand new law. McGrain helped create it, and he explains why the law was needed.
I was very active in getting this in place because we'd seen issues in the past where we wanted a court to look at our work and be able to review it, but there was no legal mechanism to do that other than someone contesting it. And so now this will actually be the first test of going before a judge, sharing all the information, allowing anybody who's been involved, so the candidates, any other interested party, to see what took place. And then I think likely in this case, we may be headed towards doing a new election.
And Secretary McGrain was correct. So a judicial review of the election led to a judge granting a redo. Very timely, too, because this past week, Eagle and Mountain Home, they had mayoral runoffs on December 5th. So the goal was to have the Jerome County rerun the same day, and they did get it done. So to recap this whole thing for you, I know this is a trustee election in Jerome County, maybe not something you follow closely. To recap, candidate Michael Lake received 48 votes, while Matthew Kimmel received 47 votes back in November. So all the voters needed to try again to decide who wins the seat. We do have the final result for you. Matthew Kimmel won with 53% of the vote, or 25 votes. Michael Lake, 47%. He got 22 votes. So moral of the story, every vote does count, and also mistakes can happen. Elections are human run, but system shows that mistakes are caught. And speaking of every vote counts, Attorney General Raul Labrador ordered a ballot recount for Caldwell's fire bond. A letter from the Office of the Attorney General says that according to Idaho Code, Canyon County, they need to recount all the ballots for the city of Caldwell general obligation bond election. That's for the fire bond. Idaho's bonds, they need 66.67% to pass. And the bond to rebuild 2 Caldwell fire stations passed only by 66.74%. So it passed by only 0.0%, 0.7%, which is the difference of 4 votes. Because it was less than 0.1% of a difference, a citizen who recently ran for office is requesting the recount for free. So the recount is happening this Monday at 8:30 in the morning. We'll let you know if there's any changes. Holiday celebrations on the Grove Plaza, they are growing by the day. The Hanukkah car parade is back after a dormant year, and this Saturday they are celebrating with a menorah lighting right on the Grove Plaza. So what is Hanukkah? Well, in short, it is a celebration of light. The Jewish people faced an attack on their holy temple in Jerusalem in ancient times, and they fought and survived. But during the fight, they lost supplies to light the menorah, a crucial religious symbol tied to traditions as old as time. So the miracle of Hanukkah, the oil that was only supposed to last 1 day, miraculously, it helped light a menorah for 8 days, thus the 8 days of Hanukkah. candles, lighting the menorah, the concept of light, this all ties together. But between the Grove Plaza Christmas tree, organizers tell our Andrew Bartline this time is a time of unity with plenty of light to share.
Proudly protruding on the capital city's center stage,
This particular location was not our choice.
there's plenty of opportunity to share the light.
It was going to be on the side, and they asked us to move it, and they wanted it here.
Right in the middle.
It's always hard to be next to a Christmas tree because it's such a beautiful symbol of the holiday.
But certainly not the only one.
That makes sure the Jews in the community feel comfortable knowing that they can celebrate their holiday in pride.
Don Bergers made that his mission,
It's called the Idaho Supports Israel Coalition.
where the answer's simple as representation.
When people see a menorah or see a Star of David, maybe they'll take a moment to reflect and realize we all kind of started in the same place. We all believe more things in common than we don't.
Once you start to notice them,
From Eagle to Meridian to the airport and everywhere in between.
the fleet of menorahs might soon be hard to miss.
You can find one probably on every main artery now of the city.
It's a nod to a fleeting tradition from a former time.
During COVID, a lot of religious institutions wanted to celebrate the holidays, but they had to find new ways to do it. And one of the ways that the Jewish synagogue did it here is they just made it mobile. So instead of you going to the menorah was brought to you.
Visually, is it quite literally like a menorah coming out of the sunroof of a car? Like, how does this work?
Yes, playing music and being festive, not disturbing traffic, and bringing the spirit of Hanukkah to Boiseans.
COVID and the need for that seems to have faded, so why is this coming back now? What's the need today?
It's been a pretty dark time for the Jewish people since October 7th, and there are places all throughout the United States where Hanukkah decorations are essentially being canceled.
Hanukkah canceled, partly by their own choice for their own safety. Hiding from anti-Semites gives less opportunity for anti-Semitism. But this is Idaho.
A place where we respect freedom, we respect our constitutional rights to speech and religion and assembly.
Hiding is no answer, and it never has been, especially during Hanukkah.
It's about a miracle that lasted 8 days as opposed to just a little oil that was supposed to last for one night. Even though times were pretty dark for the Jewish people, there is light, and that's why we want to bring light to all of Boise and put up menorahs all over town. You know, put them on our cars, show them that even though there aren't many, there are some Jews here and folks who are allies in celebrating with us.
And if you notice there, Don wears a Star of David necklace. He says in certain parts of our country, Jewish people are being told not to wear anything that would easily label them or identify themselves as Jewish, particularly in areas of high anti-Semitism in response to the war currently right now with Hamas. And this isn't the only menorah lighting going on, Joe. There's going to be another one at the Capitol next week, but I don't often share a lot about myself personally, like working this job, because I don't think it's anyone's business, but I'm Catholic. And if I was told, don't wear a crucifix, don't let people know you're Catholic, that's a problem, don't do that.
Yeah.
That is something that is so foreign to me. And in this country is like shocking that that's happening. And he's not the only person who's told me that this is something that is happening. It is sad. It's a difficult situation to be in.
Yeah, and I know it's a scary time for Jewish communities around the world, not just certain pockets, but again, it's interesting to see the different decisions made and sharing a light. That's what Hanukkah is about. So again, the Capitol Hanukkah lighting on Monday. Thank you very much, Andrew. Okay, so there's a lot going on across our great state of the 208. Boise Bicycle Project, they ran into some problems, but you can help them out riding into the weekend. Also riding into the weekend is Idaho Ski Resorts. Our wonderful Sophia Bliss has all of it for you in today's 411.
So I rode up on my bike this morning getting ready to come into work to get ready for our kids' bike giveaway next weekend, and there was a hole in our front wall of our operation.
The Boise Bicycle Project got hit with some bad news this morning, literally. Around 2:45 this morning, a truck ran into the BPP building on South Lusk Street. Police say 23-year-old Alvaro Beltran Mencia was driving drunk when he ran into the wall. Police arrested and booked him into the Ada County Jail.
Right now, we're getting ready to give away 570 bikes to kids and underserved families in Boise next weekend for our Holiday Kids Bike Giveaway. And this is definitely sort of impacting that drive, and we need that community support.
Executive Director of the Boise Bicycle Project, Devin McComas, says they still have 100 bikes to get ready. You can help by going to their website, boisebicycleproject.org, give them a call, or head to the shop to help out. Kids will get their bikes next Saturday, the 16th. Looking for some weekend plans? Tamarack Ski Resort is opening today. The resort will operate from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. 7 days a week. Right now, just the Discovery chairlift is operating, so pray for snow. And remember, Bogus Basin is officially open for the season, too. Right now, there are 9 trails open off the Morningstar Express, Deer Point Express, and Coach chairlift, along with 2 conveyor belts. More will open when more snow falls. The mountain is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Saturday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And that's the 411 on the 208. I'm Sophia Bliss.
We are seeing incredible generosity from the community through 7 Cares Idaho Shares, and we're getting ready for the major day of giving tomorrow. Meanwhile, send in those comments, questions, thoughts, anything really to our text line. You know the number. It's 208-321-5614. Please include hashtag the 208 and your name so we can give you credit. At the end of the show, we're going to read some of these live, so keep them coming. You know what's so Idaho? Idahoans supporting Idahoans. And that's exactly what we're doing right now with Idaho's biggest giving event. Our 16th annual 7 Cares Idaho Shares is underway. Raises money and food for charities that have been working for decades in our area to help the hungry and the homeless, everything. You can donate to 7 Cares Idaho Shares right now online, and then tomorrow is our official 7 Cares Day event. We'll be at different Albertsons and Fred Meyers across the Treasure and Magic Valley and Albertson Stadium at Boise State. And to get you excited, to get you to know what this is all about, maybe you're new to the area, let's take a look at some of 7 Cares' greatest hits from last year.
I was originally called for the noise disturbance.
7 Cares Idaho Shares! Woo!
But just one can, just a little makes a lot for all of us. And if everybody does a little bit, it helps those people that really are in need.
Kind of look for those who share that caring feeling, and so I thought this would be a perfect time. I've been saving that one crisp bill, and it's just kind of burning a hole in my pocket. At some point in time, I thought this would be perfect to kind of set it out.
Thank you. What's your name, sir? Frank, thank you so much. How much is this? Wow.
this event has helped so many people across the Treasure Valley. And so for us, we're just glad that we can play this role and help people, take care of their neighbors, because that's what it's all about.
The Hawaii Storm baseball team, the state champions of 2022, are all getting people moved from the intersection.
Families that are struggling just to fill their pantry. So we absolutely understand. We have, we're part of putting people in homes, and we're excited to be a part of also filling those shelves with food too. So we feel very grateful.
So this is a great way for us to get out there and to, like I said, give back to the community and say thanks again for all the support that they've given us over the years.
Why do you keep coming out and doing this every year, Don?
Because it helps our veterans and it helps everybody.
Perfect tone to set here on Friday night. So come out and join all the fun tomorrow, 8 a.m. to noon. And our KTVB team will be at Albertson Stadium at Boise State, as well as several Albertsons and Fred Meyer stores. You can see the list of those locations, as well as a link to donate on our website, ktvb.com. Our call tomorrow during the Saturday morning news at 9 a.m. to donate. You can even donate now if you'd like. It's very easy. We'll leave this up here for a second. Scan the QR code, and that'll take you right to the donation screen. You can save that link if you want to send it to your friends. And on your screen, also here in a second, we'll have the list of the amazing charities, 9 of them, that receive the money and the food that is donated and collected by you. And a huge thank you to everyone who's already donated. Lots of nice donations coming in. And for all the information you need, you can text 7CARES to the number on your screen, 208-321-5614. And every year we get the same questions after 7 Cares. How can people get more involved with nonprofits and community giving in their community? So I checked in with the Idaho Community Foundation to answer a question to just that. And we're going to talk with them this week on Viewpoint. Here's our guest, ICF President and CEO, Steve Burns. How can people get involved with the Idaho Community Foundation in their Idaho community?
Well, for the next few weeks, believe it or not, the U of I just came out with a study and it showed that in the last 5 years, 26% of the whole state has moved here. 500,000 people have lived here for less than 5 years. And to all of those folks, I say, great, we're glad you're here. Well, we need you to help, take care of this community that clearly was interesting enough to you that you wanted to move here. So great. One way to do that is to get involved with philanthropy. So for the next few weeks, head down to Jump. Not only are you donating, but it's also a cool way to start to learn about the nonprofits that are here. You could go to our website. You can look at, how would we ever create a fund? How do we become a member of the Idaho Community Foundation? Another awesome way is we are a proud partner of 7 Cares and Idaho. And so if you want to, give to that, that's just one great way. And you can do that just this week.
So we had a great conversation. You can watch the whole thing this Sunday morning at 9 a.m. on Viewpoint, always available online as well. And towards the end of that program, we're also going to touch on some of the runoff action and some holiday magic. Final call for comments, questions, photos, stories, whatever. The number, 208-321-5614. Please include your name so we can give you credit, and hashtag the 208 so we know it's for us. And also, speaking of viewer comments, ahead, we will address a very popular comment and question this week. What happened with a shot that we aired in one of our stories? We have the truth of the matter ahead.
Very happy to bring to you the snow totals. This is just the past couple of days with the last storm. We got another storm coming in Saturday night and Sunday, which means that we could actually double some of these numbers. Bogus Basin with 10 new inches, Brundage with 9 inches, Tamarack with 12 inches, and Sun Valley with 4 new inches. Isn't that great? Let's have an applause for some of the resorts around the area. Now, when you take a look at the weeks ahead, you know, we're starting to get into the cold weather. And of course, that's just typical for December. December and January are the coldest months of the year. I think that's fair to say. And as you can look at this, the first week of December, the averages are between 40 to 42 degrees. Now, that's about where we're at right now. And in the first week, second week, it drops to 38 to 40. It maintains about 38 degrees for the third week, and then the fourth week it's down to 37 to 38 degrees for high temperatures. Those are the averages. And we know that the last week of December, the first 2 weeks of January, are the coldest temperatures usually during the winter months. Not that it couldn't vary from any of these, but just to let you know, those are what some of the averages are telling us. So we're getting close to it. We're going to be beyond it in just a matter of about 6-7 weeks, somewhere along through there as we go through the winter months. And we're getting a little bit of an idea what's going on out there as you take a look at just a few of those little areas that were coming down into the state, down into Boise, as well as right now, as you can see, this isn't right now, but this is Saturday night. See some of the snow that's starting to come into the area. So because of that, tonight you might see just a few light flurries. And the 7-day forecast, look for a breezy afternoon tomorrow. Snow changing to rain for Sunday. Monday, still some rain, and temperatures basically in the 40s.
Thank you, Rick. All right, here on the 208, we like to poke fun at people's mistakes or weird things that happen, just about anything. And that includes ourselves. We can dish it out and take it. So we're going to take the time to address something that happened in our show yesterday. Many of you have texted about this. We told you about John Eickhoff, who's a projectionist guru and is helping the Egyptian show A Christmas Story on a film. But hold up, right at this point of the story is when we found out a lot of you really pay attention to our program. Because we showed this provocative video clip for a few seconds too long. I spy with my little eye the word porn. Yep, push button for porn. Apparently that's someone's favorite kind of movie at the Egyptian. These are all your text messages coming in, by the way. Laura wanted to know, is there really a porn sign on Capitol? She had to back up because she couldn't believe what she saw. The answer is yes. Someone made the F into a P and added an N to make 4 at the crosswalk into porn. It's downtown Boise. Graffiti happens. I don't know what happened, but still, kind of creative if you ask us, I guess. I don't know. But KB and many of you wanted to know, what's up with that? Why did you air that? What happened? And to tell you the truth, point blank, it was a complete mistake. But let's go straight to the source here. We're going to just tell you what happened. Andrew, you have a tie on. This is serious
business, so I put a tie on. No, I was with our photojournalist, Kevin. Okay. We talked to John. It was great. He had a great story to share with us. And he's shooting video of this while I'm at the car. I'm sick. I went home later that day. That's why the story didn't air that day, because I was physically ill. There's a woman crossing the street with a broken leg. So Kevin starts helping her cross the street. He forgets about all the video he had just shot. We help her get out of the road. And then when I go to edit the next day, we should be able to put this up for you right now. I edit on a screen, I'm not kidding you, that's the size of a Rice Krispie treat. You see that corner, the right monitor in the top left, that's what I edit off of. So I couldn't even see the word written there. So unfortunately, that's what happened. Just miscommunication between Kevin and I because a whole storm happened, and then I just didn't notice it.
Okay, so no ulterior motives, no secret meaning. It was actually just Andrew edits on a small screen and he can't see.
And I can't read.
There you go. All right, so there's your answer. We'll be right back.
First and last time.
First and last time. Great tie, Andrew.
Thank you.
Wow, this program. All right, let's get to some of your comments to end the program. Dean in Boise says, just really tired of all the hate that's going on, and I'm so glad that people are trying to overlook that to celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas and life. Yes, great message. I agree there, Dean. Hope everyone can enjoy the holiday season. This person says, Idaho is truly fortunate that Phil McGrain won the Secretary of State office. He truly wants the best for Idaho, not like his unscrupulous opponent. That is Chuck's opinion there from Boise. Thanks for writing in, Chuck. And this person says, I hope folks feel secure in our local elections. Every time an election is challenged, turns out it was counted correctly, even in the case of an incorrect absentee ballot. Great comment. Have a great weekend. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 Cares.